because he always just does active when like defenders.
I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man. Come on. As the big man Ian Wright just said there, people deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. Premier League football is back. The curtain raiser sees the Premier League champions, Arsenal Football Club play against Coventry. And it's a weird one because regardless of what team you support or what all of that kind of stuff, yeah, 11 players are going to dictate our mood for the best part of a year now, isn't it? 11 strangers that we don't know, people, as much as we feel close to the team. I always find that quite funny about football. We're going to go over Mikel Arteta's press conference. We're going to read a couple of articles. Obviously, let me know your thoughts on Konsa, on the transfer business. What would you grade our business out of 10? And again, you'll have been on to me about doing my FPL league. Again, if you've already joined it in previous years, I have renewed it. So it's there just so, and I've put it all on my socials. It is in the YouTube community tab. I'm going to not only post this link, but it says share by email. Oh, whoa. All right, just copy that email text. If you're not there, you're not there now, innit? I've done everything I could. Actually, that's a good question to ask you lot in the poll. What would you give Arsenal's window so far? Obviously, can't have everything. Out of 10. Yeah, out of 10. What would we say? What should be the answers? There's always some of you negatives. Let's say 5s. Let's say 6. Let's say 7+. Let's say under 5. Because I know there's some negative nannies out there. So, yeah, people, that's that. We're going to read Mikel Arteta's press conference in just a sec. We're going to have to move very quickly through these things. But before all of that, we have to have manners. Without you lot, the platform is nothing. DG Nation, I love you. Again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. So, yeah, join the FPL League. Make sure you're there. I think we should, you know what, should we do one for the Champions League? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Konsa, top 3 centre-back in the league/world. I don't know about in the world. I don't even know about in the league, but I think I don't think he's top 5. Saliba, Gabriel are there. I do think Guardiola's there. I do think Diaz is there. To be fair, I'm struggling for a 5th, but yeah, man, I like what we're doing, innit? I like the signing of Bruno. I like the signing of Konsa. I don't question the club when they sign left backs and centre halves. I know some people thought we could gamble and not have a defender or bring another one in. Me personally, I'm not for that. I like the fact of Saliba, Gabriel, and Konsa all fighting for a spot. Mascara evidently developing. I like Konsa because he's backed himself. You know, again, they're 2 of the best centre halves in the league/world. They're the best partnership in world football. He's saying, fuck all of that. I'm trying to play. Obviously, he can play on the right. It means potentially we don't have to rush Saliba back. We don't have to, we don't have to rush Saliba back. We've got a bit of cover depending on what happens with Benjamin White and Timber. There's another point I wanted to make in relation to that, but it's evaded me. I'm all for it. And who knows? Saliba's gonna, just because let's just assume 3 to 5 weeks, it's 3 to 5 months. Apologies that he's out. Let's just assume that we're in month 5 now. Just because you've been declared medically fit, it don't mean right now you're ready to start playing football. He's gonna have to get fitness. He's gonna have to be eased in. Naturally, when you're out for a long time, hamstring knocks, setbacks, all of these kind of things. So we don't have to push him through it. Mascara's a brilliant footballer, but you don't want to be in that stage where, obviously, how old is Mascara? What, 21? How good was Magalhaes at 21? How good was Saliba at 21? My point being, they're going to have to make mistakes. And you don't want to be in that space where, granted, his form is going to be up and down, but you're having to kind of play him regardless. We can kind of take people out the firing line. So I like what we've got in our defensive unit. I like what our centre mid unit has. It's just the attack in it. Like, again, a big part of it is recruitment. Big up Zolis. I think we need one more step in the right direction with Zolis. Morgan Rogers, Bukola, Vinny. Them things never happen, so it is what it is. I think there's a spot there. Be interesting to see, what you lot think, because we're being linked with Kylian Yildiz. I've never believed more that Martinelli's going to leave purely because he wasn't in the Community Shield. I don't think it's just that. I think everybody likes to say Arsenal don't play entertaining football. You can have all of that because I like to win stuff in it. What I would say is who generally plays entertaining football in the Premier League? Because there's probably more teams that don't play entertaining football than that do. Then you look at it in a worldscape. The ball is in play less. Everybody plays mid and deep and low blocks against us. If you want to play, let's go out and play. So recruitment's one thing. Arteta and the boys have to find a way to break down low blocks. Don't I do it above my pay grade, right? And obviously, we need Saka back to his best. We need Kai and Gyökeres kind of, we need to kind of play to their strengths and weaknesses and know the game states that we're playing them in. Obviously, the Eze's, the Odegaards, the quality's there. Eze's situation is different from Odegaard, but I need my attacking unit to be fit and firing because you all had moments. You're all part of dragging us over the line. But if we were to split this team into 3 units, so the defensive and the midfield and the attack we're least confident about. And it's weird because we did get 121 goals. We found enough goals to win the Premier League. We obviously found enough goals to get to 2 finals, but we know we're going to score goals. We don't know who's going to get the goals. To be fair, with it from set pieces, we probably expect Magalhaes at this moment in time to find the back of the net more than certain man in it. BG, appreciate you. If they secure an attacker, I'd say it's been a pretty good window. So far, I'm not going to lie. And no half ratings as well. There's no half ratings. There's no 6.5, 2.4, 10, 9.5. We're not doing that. For me personally, pardon me, I'm going to give this window a 6. Now, individually, I'd rank Zolis a 7 out of 10. He is what I've been calling for. Go and find some unknown guys. Try where you can find value for money. Isolation, I like the theory of Zolis and his whole journey. Playing for Norwich, the ups and downs in his career, what I've seen in pre-season, actually the fact that he's had a pre-season as well. Isolated to him, 7 out of 10. Landscape, which is no fault of Zolis. Yeah, you told us, well, we were briefed that this is the first, but it's not going to be the last attacking signing. So I give him a 7. Bruno G, 10 out of 10. I don't care about 3-4 years, etc. That's what Sir Alex Ferguson used to do. Oh shit, Konsa, you won the Europa League. You've been part of that Aston Villa side. All right, come over here. Bruno G achieved history at Newcastle, been the captain, gone to war with that. We've got one more spot in addition to Azubi, a Rice, a Lewis Skelly. Bruno, come over here. You and Konsa are winners. You are big characters, but you ain't won nothing at Arsenal. So, and I don't think we're going to be complacent. But if there's any complacency, I'd imagine them two are saying it's all good and you lot talking about memories. We need to obviously get there. Obviously, big up Konsa for being English as well. So 10 out of 10 with Bruno. I'll give Konsa 8 out of 10, man. I preferred Konsa purely because he's younger. And I was more thinking at right back, if I'm honest. I'm happy with Konsa, as I've said, and the variety of reasons. I'm actually in the process of making a short little tactical video about that. Aiming to get out for probably tomorrow, probably just before we kick off against Coventry. So, yeah, turn on your notification bell. So, 7 out of 10 for Konsa. Strong 7. 8 out of 10. Apologies. 7 out of 10 for Zolis. And it's more what Konsa. We're already strong in defense, innit? So, it's like we've got the best army ever and we're buying more nuclear weapons in it. So I like that. Bruno, I like that. Zolis, I like that. Still think we're left winger short. Not really fussed about second and third choice keepers. Fair play. Outgoings, it's not my money, but somehow Reece Nelson, Gabriel, Jesus, Vieira still here. If we're really saying, Wanyeri is a loan thing, let's get a move on. I understand he had to serve some part of pre-season. Like the fact that I think Mikel Arteta, apparently, I ain't read what he said, we're not selling Lewis Skelly, so I'd give it a 7. I'll give it a 6 out of 10 so far, man. It's a weird one because in many ways, I think we've risen the levels and the floors because, again, indirectly, we've made our own depth. Like, if we assume it's a double pivot and one of Odegaard or Eze, naturally, if Eze is the second choice, you can see the levels in it. He'd walk into a lot of teams. Konsa, Gabriel, Saliba, one of you has to miss out. Their levels have been risen. Bruno G, obviously with midfield, so I like that. I need a left winger, man, because, Zolis is human, innit? I can't expect you to do it for 40 plus games. I like what you could be, God forbid. But if you get injured, what happens? If you lose form, what happens? Martinelli on paper is still an option. Again, even though I think it's looking like the end of the road, we've accepted Martinelli for 40 years. We don't quite know what's going on there. You would imagine some Arsenal fans somewhere are having that conversation about Eze playing left wing in it. So I want another one. Get the likes up for the first stream of the new season. Come on. Last season, my mission was to enjoy throughout, regardless of the pressure our club is on. I managed it well up to the business end of the season. That was stressful. I can't lie. If I'm keeping it chill, I do think I crumbled a bit in May, man. I did. April, if I'm honest with you. But can you blame me? My heart's on the line. We're moving mad against Bournemouth. Credit to the boys for making sure there was no egg on our face this season. I've warmed up to Konsa, and now he's an Arsenal player. I'll back him, and that's it. Simple as that. Like, I think 50 million for him is decent money. Yeah, he's got 2 years left on his deal. They probably would have wanted to keep him and then probably sell him for less last year. But from an Aston Villa point of view, you've probably made a healthy profit on what you spent with Brentford. We've got someone experienced that's 28 years of age. He provides depth. He does all of that kind of stuff. 50 million it's madness, but 50 million is peanuts in today's day and age. I'm not going to necessarily act like I was the biggest fan of Konsa. You know, looking at some research, he probably could be better in the air, but I like what he gives us throughout a course of a season, really. So, yeah, you're right, man. Give the man a chance. He's part of the football club now. You can never have too many players. We keep it moving, man. Bro, 6 out of 10. Is it 8 out of 10? Bro, a 6 out of 10. Is it 8 out of 10? And if left wing, 9 out of 10. Now, if you get a left wing or another left wing, it's 10 out of 10. Like, yes, outgoings, but I feel a lot in the squad. 6 out of 10. As I said, I think when I isolate the 3 men who have come in, and you could be silly and include Hincapié, as I said, Zolis, I give that a 7 out of 10. Bruno, I give that a 10 out of 10. Konsa, isolated incidences, I give that an 8 out of 10. In general, if I'm really harsh, I'm not saying that the other end of my logic is we're strengthening strong areas already. There's still uncertainty on the left-hand side. So, and yeah, the market's mad. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of excuses, or excuse ain't the right word, and I don't know the other word. There's a lot of luxuries I could give the club, not wanting to pay 117 million for Morgan Rogers. Ambition, ready to strike if the Vinny thing never happened. Bacola, 130 plus. I hear it. My thing is, and I don't have the answers, what now? Because for me, I am leaning towards, and I don't really want this. Fuck it. You might as well just leave it now, innit? There's no point buying someone for buying someone's sake. We might as well leave it, see what we can assess in January. If Martinelli stays or goes, it is what it is. It is what it is with Eze on the left-hand side. It is what it is with Zolis. Obviously, there's a bunch of players we could probably move over there. You get where I'm going. Apparently, Bruno is injured. Where is that being said? Bruno, you just got at the club, man. Let us ease into this. Let's see exactly what the gaffer Arteta has said, people. And big up Miles as well, people. Formerly of Filthy Fellas. Obviously, catch him doing From My Left and streams of his own back and things. We had a good stream earlier today, people. So go and check that out after this. This will take you over there. What's Arteta said? On how it feels to go into the season as defending champions. I feel good, different, 100%. Hopefully better. I'm more excited than ever, hungry than ever. I can't wait to start the Premier League at home in front of our fans, have a great performance and win the match. On what it takes to retain the title. Now, Arteta's never done that as a manager, but he's been at City. And unfortunately, yes, you can tell me about the 30s. Our football club have never defended it in the modern day, innit? Like, let's keep it true. We haven't done back-to-back. Plenty of managers have won the league. There's only 3 that have retained it. Sir Alex Ferguson, Pep Guardiola, and Jose Mourinho. And I'm not saying Arteta is better or on par. If you can add your name to that kind of stuff, be great. If I'm really honest, I don't want too much change. Like, I don't want us to completely change and playing great attacking football. Take what we're doing defensively, take it to the other gear, break down low blocks. Hopefully our attackers can stay in form and et cetera, et cetera. Like, if we could take the 2022-23 attacking with what we do defensively, we'll go and clear in it. It's as simple as that. But if I'm honest, last year I was more on just get it done, bro. I don't care if Magalhaes is the golden boot wearer. I don't care who scores the most goals, who's got the best individual performances. Man, just need to get over the line, innit? Like, get over the line, because individually it wasn't, and it, you know, and then after when we won it, it was never going to be your best individual season where you're in PFA shouts. But the collective comes first. It'll be your most memorable. You've won the Prem. Now, I would still take that. By hook or by crook, if someone could guarantee me right now, without any context, that we're winning the Premier League title, I'm shaking your hand right now. But as a fan, obviously, ideal world scenario, I want us to win the league being good defensively, play sparkling, great attacking football. And also, you know, I want to see, as we've seen in the last few years, Raya's winning clean sheets. You know, maybe Odegaard's up there for assists. No one ain't outscoring Haaland, but for argument's sake, Gyökeres or Kai, they've got 14, 15, 16 odd goals. Like, individuals are shining as well. I do want that, people. But it's down to the boys. The only people that can stop us is ourselves. That's not me sitting there and saying we're the biggest and baddest. Forget the fact that we won the league last year. That was something Arsenal fans said, including myself. We have this ability on and off the field to hit ourselves over the head. And I do think that there are, you know, other teams are doing great things. They've done great stuff in the transfer market, but it all needs to mesh and gel. There's a lot of unanswered questions, a variety of unanswered questions in the typical rivals, excluding us. Obviously, we've got questions, but we've cheated the game a bit. We've got stability. We've got all of these kind of things. We know what we need to improve. We know what we're good and we know what we're bad at. The past brings regrets. The future brings uncertainty. Right now, we're in the present. And that's why I like the Konsa signing. That's why I like the Bruno G signing. Because, yeah, resale value, all these things are important. But that tells me, fuck it, we're on winning right now. Do this thing right now. And it's not the same, but I do like the Gyökeres signing because last year, Sesko. It's either Sesko or nothing. We went and got Gyökeres. So I'm all for that, people. But those teams have an incredible quality, which is to maintain the daily standards at the highest level. True, it's an opportunity that we have. I have no question that our players have that desire and ambition to do that. Now it's something that we have to do and earn daily. Facts, man. And again, I want to win the league title, but right now, the biggest thing we can do is focus on commentary. We are really active in the market. Our club's mad, you know, Kai. You see, when it comes to identifying defenders, moving at pace to sign defenders, paying certain fees for defenders. We're on it. Attack it's monitoring and scouting, and we're chatting to his mum and his dad, and it's a big Netflix saga, in it, people, man. Big up you lot, smash the like button. What are you saying here, Fords? My Killy. Locked in with my bro as always. Yo, bro, you ready for this roller coaster of a season to start tomorrow? And also prediction for the game. I'm going to be humble, man. My heart is telling me we win 4-1. I'm thinking 2-1 Arsenal. I do think Coventry are going to give as good as they get. I do think this season's going to be a weird one, and it's going to be cliche in that it won't surprise me if Kai Havertz scores against Chelsea, Bruno scores against Newcastle, Declan Rice against West Ham, Crystal Palace where Eze is concerned, Konsa, Aston Villa away, which probably is going to be his first game if he's really having his medical. I know he didn't play for Arsenal, but Morgan Rogers, when he plays against Arsenal for Chelsea, we're probably going to beat them, but I expect him to score. I do expect Gyökeres to bag tomorrow, man. But again, it's the beautiful thing about the Premier League, innit, man? So yeah, man. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, there's going to be bants, there's going to be not. Bring it on, man. Bring it on. Last season, I went for it all, so bring it all on, man. Bring it all on. I think you're underestimating the state of the league last season. I'm not underestimating no one. We have to expect everybody to put their best foot forward. I look at Chelsea, Xabi Alonso, a very good coach. The flip side of it is you don't get like any Chelsea side, that's one stuff. Any Arsenal side, that's one stuff. The thing, you know, people can banter us and maybe give us our plaudits because we've won the league. We've been one of the better teams in the Premier League and one of the better ones in Europe. That means we've spent a long time unlearning bad habits, all the things we were shit at, remember, like when it was crap, and learning good habits, which we underestimate really and truly. The desire to want to defend, the ambition, as Arteta is alluding to, like we ain't achieved nothing. Every day we're coming in, the standards of training, because complacency is a killer. You know, think about anything you've achieved in your life. You're working for it, you're desiring, whether you're studying or driving and whatnot, you're putting in that work. Once you get it, it can go the other way. You can have a taste of success and think, I want more, or you could take your foot off the gas. So I'm not underestimating no one for a second, but this is one thing that pisses me off about rivals, because the minute Arsenal's decent, to be fair, they said it with Liverpool. They only won because everybody's crap. One, that ain't nothing to do with us. Two, we're not underestimating no one. Three, we've earned the right to talk with Chess, because we've been one of those teams in Europe. We've been one of the better teams in the Premier League. And they sit here and say, attackers can't score goals, Arteta this, injuries that. We still won the league. So I expect everyone to put their best foot forward. But fundamentally, if you understand football, you know things take time. That's not me saying people can't mount an Arsenal 2022-23 season or even win the league in their first year like Slot. Chelsea have made a step in the right direction with a couple of signings. You're not going to see a Xabi Alonso team overnight. They're going to make mistakes. They need to keep people fit. Yes, they're playing one game a week. Man United, Carrick was the Messiah. You know, again, when you've got a villain like Amarin, he's come in. Now there's a degree of expectation. Man United have had a better window than they've had in previous years. And what I mean by that is the names might not be sexy, but they've previously done the sexy name thing. It didn't get anywhere. But they've got their own questions to answer, like us and everyone. They're playing 3 times a week. A bit like Arsenal with our midfield options now, and you could relate it to Carrick. You never had these options. They brought in 3 midfielders, assuming Belemba signs for the football club, assuming he does that, innit? It's more of a case like with Mikel Arteta. You've got the ingredients. Can you cook a meal? City, again, they're going to jail. Maresca wanted that job for a minute. Let's see what he's on. But tactically, they need to go back to the drawing board. And they've lost leaders. They've lost a talismanic figure in Pep Guardiola. There's hella questions. Areola, on terms of coaching, great. I think the most he's ever coached was 48 games. Obviously, you're going to have a lot more than, and that's the minimum Liverpool are probably going to have next season. On paper, they could do more. As you know, as a manager, it's not just about what you've obviously done as a manager, from a coaching aspect. Managing Liverpool is another thing. So I'm not underestimating things for a while. There's pros and cons. There's the element of the unknown. All we can do is handle ourselves. We're a fucking good football club. Let's keep it moving. It's essentially like that. Like, what we're not going to do is belittle what Arsenal have achieved. Like, whether you like it or not, we're not going to do that. At our worst, we know what we're on. At our best, we know what we're on. I want us to get better. There's no resting on no laurels. And I know the manager and the players have that. There's so much more to come. If people can look at me, obviously the ambition has to be chasing the illusion, innit? Trying to be like PSG with a lot of what they do tactically. Who wouldn't want to do what Real Madrid have done in terms of the Champions League? That's the ambition. Obviously, I don't think we're going to do it, but you have to learn from other people. If I could look around at Arsenal Football Club and we've won whole heap of Champions League, whole heap of Premier Leagues, then maybe complacency can seek in. We ain't done that. And if I'm honest, we won the league last year. When you got away from the happiness and isolated to that 38-game calendar of us getting over the line and what it means and the excitement with the fans, I did have this feeling like, to be fair, we in this 4-year period that obviously marking when we won the league, probably could have won it twice. Do I think Arsenal could have won 4 in a row? Or, 2 of the 3 or 3 of the 4? It's down to you. But we've been in those title shouts. And I have had that inkling. What was the year Calafiori came in? That year, we defo shot ourselves in the foot. Maybe the year Liverpool won the league. Obviously, if we patterned up certain things in that market, maybe we would have won the league. But that's all hit if that maybe. And this is why I'm big on taking advantage of the present. Sometimes timing is perfect. There's years where we could have, the amount of points we got, we could have won it in previous years. But that's ideal scenario. So in conclusion, how am I underestimating the league? Because if there's been one thing that Arsenal have been consistent in the last 4 years, turning into 5 now, is we've been involved in these title shouts. We're not going to belittle my football club and our achievements just because, oh my God, Chelsea are going to get their act together. City are going to get their act together. Liverpool are going to get their act together. You mean to tell me teams are going to try and improve on what they did last year? But suddenly Arsenal are going to stand still. It's lazy. Like, can we just put our tribal hats on the floor and actually talk ball? I don't know, man. I'm wishing on a star, but nonetheless, man, let's keep it moving, people. On signing the defender, we are really active in the market. I think I mentioned that a few days ago. The ambition is to improve the squad. We have a really specific issue in the back line, especially with the long-term injury of Saliba and the fact that we miss one more defender. That's clear. So we're trying to reinforce that area. Whenever we're ready, we'll announce something. There's rumors that Konsa is having his medical tomorrow. There's rumors he's had his medical and he's currently touring around London. Coley, I actually hope he's had his medical already and the registration has been sent off to the relevant parties, because I think if it wasn't done by 12 p.m. today, Thursday, then he's ineligible to play at Coventry, innit? And to be fair, fitness-wise, he's probably not there, which means at the earliest opportunity of him being involved in Arsenal's matchday squad in any capacity, life is a funny game, innit? It would be Aston Villa away, people. So, yeah, his pass for the stadium probably still be working by then. Only if a signing is close, I'm always positive. I'm always confident. It's something that I cannot control. It doesn't just depend on us. So we're willing to improve that area, and we're going to try our best to achieve that. So, yeah, Mikel Arteta is doing the PR thing and not trying to add to the circus of Konsa signing for Arsenal. On the possibility of players leaving who has been here a long time, it has to happen, bro. It has to happen, unfortunately. The players that helped us get our act together and just be a decent football team that fans want to pay money and fans around the world wake up every week to watch, not everyone was there. The players that took us from that to that first title challenge / getting Champions League football, they might not be here. The players that helped us have a challenge for a couple of years to versus helping us get over the line, they might not be here. Or if they're here, they might have gone from first names on the team sheet to on the peripheral things. The players that help us, by God's grace, we retain this, that help us retain this thing, they might not be here next year. Do you get where I'm going? It's an evolution. So I don't think he's wrong. Decisions have to be made, man. Like when you look without romance, there's very few players. Every player's got a price tag in it, but there's very few players I would describe as unsellable, if I'm honest with you. It's a really, really tough moment. You need to face that reality, but you need to face it with real honesty and transparency, because when you're on the other side, that's exactly what you need. You might not like what you've been told, but if it's truthful, if it's the reality, if it's honest, it's going to help you to make better decisions and have more clarity for the next steps in your career. You have to do that. They're always very difficult conversations, but they need to be done. It's like when a player doesn't feel that he belongs or is important, he wants to have a different chapter. I think that communication has to exist, and it has to be both ways. We all know everything has a start and an end. When it comes to an end, I think our duty, our responsibility is to do it in the best possible way, maintaining the respect and admiration for the player and the relationship. But the understanding at that end, we need to make footballing decisions. I'm giving minutes for players in the squad. Unpopular opinion, I don't want minutes for minutes' sake. This ain't no charity. Because, again, while we might, even myself, say, oh, why is the same players playing last season? At the end of the day, we might not have got over the line. Of course, Arteta has to find that balance with having the confidence to maybe occasionally not start Rice. I know if I'm a manager, Rice is always going to play for me. It makes you feel comfortable. Maybe having that confidence to try other things. To a degree, there's nothing Arsenal or any football club can do about injuries. On paper, Arsenal, without kicking the ball, we're looking at 48, 50-odd games, all the way to probably 60 if you go all the way in the competition. If you're like Rice, where you're going to play a lot of football for Arsenal and you're probably going to play for your country, you're looking at 70 games for club and country, off the back of the World Cup, off the back of the intense fixture schedule list, off the back of the last few seasons. Certain clubs have been in the Club World Cup and all of these kind of things. which is another thing I envy about PSG. They bully the French league, they rest their players. It is what it is. The footballing universe isn't going to care. But players can't play for players' sake. Like, they can't. There's not everybody get a game. This one ain't played. This one ain't that. Whatever. We need to get 3 points. Without talking about any specifics, that's something we're working on with every individual to understand. Because I'd like to have the squad as big as possible because we know what we're fighting for, how long this is, and we'll learn again from the past. Especially last year when we got into some difficult situations, when we had 2 or 3 injuries in the same area of the pitch. Exactly. And man, it's 2 or 3 areas in the same area of the pitch. And man are sitting there and being naive. Oh, why sign another defender? It's like you, man, see the same. How much time are you going to watch Boys in the Hood and scream at your TV? Ricky, move to the left or right. Don't run in a straight line. It's better to need it. It's better to have it and not need it than the other way, in it. And I'm happy with being overstocked. I want to be overstocked. I'm not on going back to darkness because realistically, if Konsa didn't come in, depending on how unforgiving the fixture calendar list is, you're not that far away from us maybe bantering and having the conversation. Oh, does Declan Rice have to go centre back? Does he go right back again? Lewis Skelly left back, and you can't even rule out Lewis Skelly having to play at left back because Nkapie and Calafri pick up knocks. This is the fixture calendar list, people. So we need to prepare ourselves, man. So yeah, I don't think he's wrong with that, people. We have to manage that, but players have to feel important and valued. And in order to do that, they need to play minutes. We need to breathe, and we need to take this organically because it's going to be a long marathon as well. What we need to show is that desire and ambition will be better than what we were last year, a month ago, or a week ago. When we played Manchester City, we have the ability to improve, to evolve. That's what I sense, and I feel around the club and especially around the players. On our record against promoted sides at home, I think every game is different, and we're going to face a really tough opponent. What they've done as a club is remarkable. What Frank has done is incredible. Facts. You know, when I was doing the ITV thing, I was obviously watching the Championship. Coventry done bloody brilliant last year, and there's so much to like about them tactically. Don't get twisted. We need to win. After so many years without being in the Premier League, they've earned the right to do that. Great story in that regards as well. They've earned it in a real special way. Not only that, they are where they are. They absolutely deserve where they are. And I love the way they play and the courage that they show in every game. Now, obviously, you know, there's obviously contexts around what I'm about to say. You lot are smart enough, so I'm not going to explain it. But one thing that I'm wary of and encouraged by is the start of the season, because everybody's kind of at a level playing field in the sense that statistically it is, because no one ain't kicked a ball. And also everybody's dealing with different things fitness-wise. Like with us, obviously, a lot of men have been at the World Cup. We're starting to get man back. There's different fitness levels, all of these kind of things. Everybody plays each other twice, but I'm big on timing, man. Like, I think we played Newcastle away at the right time. You know, don't get twisted. There's sometimes we went to play sides like Sunderland away. I think we played them at the wrong time. But there's been parts this season where I'm like, would have fancied them. Now, you can't pick the schedule in it. So you get where I'm going with that, people. So, yeah. If Martinelli stays and our club can't find adequate player on the market for left wing or striker, then I won't be moaning. We have enough to win. Hopefully they sign Crew Pete in January. The market is inflated, so getting the depth is more important than the cost. Mafia, appreciate you. As the man has said there, smash the like button. We don't need a striker with main character syndrome. We did that with Aubameyang and it didn't work horribly. I think that's a bit naive. We're saying Aubameyang didn't work. I can't lie, that's horrible, man. And what striker don't have an ego, man? What player don't have an ego? You genuinely, just because you see the Bible brothers, you know, and there's all synergy and that, you think man don't have an ego in this team? And if you ain't got an ego, as long as you know your ego don't go beyond the collective and any of the moaning, it comes from a right place. You think the Invincibles didn't have egos, the City sides, the Chelsea sides, the Man United sides, you think there's no egos in that? You think it's not an ego, right? Saying, and ego don't always mean like, I'm better than you, I spit on you and all of this thing. You think Rice ain't got an ego coming out and saying it's not done where the whole world's watching? You think Eze ain't got an ego? You think Saka ain't got one? You think Saliba and Gabriel ain't? You think Ryrie? You think the gaffer don't? You think the set piece coach don't? And lean into that now this season. Lean into that. They call us unbearable and talk about us all the time. Lean into that. Not in an arrogant way, but we're not imposters no more. You lot got over the line with Premier League champions. So in a positive way, let your fucking nuts hang, puff out your chest. If they want to take this from our necks, take it over our dead body. I'll be the first person, if we don't win this Premier League, to say, you know what? Commiserations to our boys. Congratulations to everyone else. But you better fucking come and fight tooth and nail. Well, thank you for coming to my TED Talk, people. So yeah, man. Big up what Coventry did. Shout out to them. On if he's had time to enjoy being champions. Yes, I have to enjoy it, to reflect it. It was time for everything. It was a long summer. Then we usually have, I feel fresh, I feel motivated, I sense the enthusiasm around the place, and that's exactly what I want. We'll find out. We haven't done it before, so I really can't tell you when asked about defending our team. I had experience, but in a different role. As I said before, it's about what you put in daily, how you set the standards, and how you drive those day to day to earn the right to be where you want to be in May, to give yourself the chance to win. And that's all you can do, bro. Like, there's realistically, we know where we want to be. We know where we want to be, obviously, in May, but there's no point thinking about that. The best way to impact the future is really utilizing the presence. And that's all we can do is chase the illusion of perfection. Try and be better in every aspect we was last season. Focus on getting these 3 points. Players that are on the fringes, take your chances when you get them. Players that are our first names on the team sheet, no complacency, because shit can change. Because, again, we all know Saliba and Gabriel fit. They're better than Konsa. But Saliba and Gabriel need to be thinking, bloody hell, Aston Villa, lad, there's no complacency here. Konsa needs to come in like, fuck it, bro. I could take someone's spot, because there's a reality. Saliba comes back. Konsa might be so in such a good moment of form. You might not get back in the team immediately. Now, we all know Saliba's quality, but you get the point. This is why you need the squad, people. Big up Frank. I'm going to leave that for the Coventry fans and, the ex-Chelsea ties. We don't want to spend there waffling about him. On Saka and Rice's availability, yes, they're ready to be involved. Yes. Do you not think they'll start? Because a part of me thinks exactly the same starting 11. The exactly the same starting 11 from the Community Shield. A part of me thinks Rice might start. A part of me, in my heart, I know if it's not Saka, I want it to be Max Dowman. I know it's probably going to be Noni. I don't know, people, but it's encouraging to hear that. On Timber, no, I said in the next few weeks, he's not training with the group yet. So he's not back for a minute. Well, it depends on the availability and the history of those players. I think there are a lot of factors that count. 22 players and 3 goalies or 4 is enough. Or maybe you need more. Need to understand what happened in the previous season, the injury record of those players, the versatility of certain players. I'm sure we'll land on the right number, a bit of both, a lot of competition, the right level of cooperation in the team, and everybody feeling important. On the midfield competition, yes, that's what the new signings bring, a new energy, something to prove in front of them as well, and obviously a competition. When you talk about the players of that quality and leadership, the same with Zolis or with Millier, what they've done since day one, I think it lifts the level of everyone. On Bruno G's fitness, let's see how he is. He's evolving really well, but let's see by tomorrow. On the evolution of his team to win by more goals, the more dominant we are, the bigger the margins, the better. So in order to achieve that, we're going to have to be much better in every department. In order to achieve that, we need to have much better availability in the squad than we had last year for long periods of the season, so that those margins become bigger. He said 100% Lewis Skelly will be an Arsenal player. On if Arsenal's a bad selling club, it's not good. It's not bad or good. It depends on what you have relative to the options you have to sell. Maybe we've been extraordinary depending on the level of players that we have, the ability in their contracts and their will to go. A possible issue is that you face is that maybe you want to make certain decisions with certain players, but they're happy and want to stay as well. True. There are a lot of factors that have to be right when you have to sell a player, but it's not that simple in my opinion. On if we need to sell before buying, well, it depends on the sporting success as well. I think there isn't a club in Europe that has had the growth that Arsenal had in terms of value, in terms of performances, in terms of revenues. So that's something very big. Some other clubs, maybe they need to sell. I think we're taking an approach that has increased the level and the capacity of the club big time. On if he feels there's a target on our back as champions, of course they are. Bring it on, man. From today, no, because we start from scratch, from zero tomorrow. We're going to have to improve. We're going to have to prove we have the level to go back to that position again. But I think that happened in the last 3 seasons. At some point, we were first. Some of the time, we were chasing it. You never know what is better. You give me the choice. I want to be first. I want to be hunted. I want to be in control of our future rather than depend on someone else. I think it's been an evolution in terms of the atmosphere 3-4 years ago, then 2 years ago, then last year. When you're so close as well at some point, that atmosphere and feeling of not doing it again can restrict you. But when I see the celebrations and the parade and those emotions, I'm very confident that we're going to have, in my opinion, the best stadium in the world and the best atmosphere in the world, because if we do that, we're going to be much closer to achieving what we want to do again. On if it's important to keep players from the academy, the players that have been raised in our system, they feel generally that love and the connection with the club. It brings something else. There's no question about that. We need to look after them in a really special way because they bring value that is difficult to find. That's why when we can, we want to protect those assets as much as possible, develop them and make them extremely important for the club. On sending players on loan to clubs in the Premier League, I think those are individual cases. Those players have to be ready as well to compete in the Premier League and to play regularly. The priority is to expose those players, give them minutes. You better agree that's going to be the case. And how many clubs, teams, managers in this league can guarantee that that's going to be a really young player that probably hasn't had exposure? If you find it, great, because that's the level we want them to compete. But sometimes they need a different pathway. The beauty of this is that the pathway can be completely different and the outcome can be the same. This is the magic of football as well. Big up the Australian supporters then on what it feels to be favourites. It doesn't matter. Our friend is not here today with a supercomputer. All those stats that we normally have. I think it is what it is. I think our supercomputer and what it has to drive us is the standard daily to be able to day by day earn the right to position ourselves. There's a really strong way to play, to perform, to connect with the people in the manner that we want. And if that's the case, I'm sure we're going to be very close. And then the destiny will decide what happens. On if we're determined to defend our title. Bro, this is long, isn't it? Oh, we're almost at the thingy. That we want. I guarantee you with my life, that's the case. And how willing they are to achieve that. But we need to show it. That's only on the pitch and the way we act and react. Overcome different challenges and opportunities over the season, whether we're capable of doing it or not. On Calafiori's versatility, well, every player has specific qualities. Richie, he has a special energy, a special aura around him that makes him different. He brings that. But Nketiah is extraordinary. Everything that he does with very different qualities. And what I want is Ricardo and Piero is Piero. Because with those two, we are much better. Both of you, man, need to stay fit. I don't really care who's left back. You know, I like both of you, different qualities. Of course, if I need a bit more strength, 1v1 defensively, I'm going to go with Nketiah. A bit of healthy randomness in the final third, Calafiori. I don't care which one. And even Lewis Kelly, man, just need to stay fit. The way they complement each other, the qualities that they offer, that's what we try to build around the squad. And finally, folks, on transfer speculation, on if transfer speculation makes his job harder. I mean, that could be afforded to managers, to sporting directors, to owners, to players. Obviously, you're human, and some of these rumors might have an element of truth. And I can't talk on a situation I ain't been in, people. Sir, I'm getting cramped. You're best to just continue your job as normal. Realistically. Of course, there's always going to be speculation. Especially in social media. You imagine 1,000,000% these players talk about it, but you got to get on with it. With all honesty, no, because it doesn't go through my eyes. It goes through my ears, especially with Dan or Kate that they feed me, also the press officers. Okay, what's going on? And my kids that say, are you signing this? How close are we with this? The rest, I just focus on information that I gather from Andrea, the board, to understand where we are with those transfers and what we're able to do and what not. Fair play. I hear it, man. Yeah, I take believer, allow me, man. You know I'm talking about the Brighton lad, man. Evening social. We need to beat them 4-0. Ego and main character syndrome are different, bro. I can't lie to you. Where's Aubameyang never acted like the main character? Because nobody at Arsenal, Arteta, or these players have said he thinks he's bigger than he is. Does he rub people up the wrong way? It was more, let's have it right. He was late. And one day, and I'm not going to speak about this, I can tell you for a fact, because I've mentioned this before, there's 3 sides to every story. And when I sit, sometimes you don't need to read between the lines. When I sit here and I tell you, I think the biggest thing Mikel Arteta has learned in his years is there's a more human element. There's 3 sides to every story. There's Aubameyang's, there's the clubs, there's Arteta's. Unfortunately, in today's day and age with the tribalism, there's that. Aubameyang's never been a prick. Let's have it right. Let's have it right. He violated it. He made a mistake. He violated. Arteta had to draw the hard line. Probably, gave him chance after chance. All right, you've put me in a difficult position because if I don't reprimand you, the young players are going to think, right, we could all take the piss. Where has Aubameyang never done that? He was good at the time. Him and Lacazette, I can tell you for a fact, they were good, not just with the young players that you've seen now sold or made at the first team. They were great energies to have around that squad. This is like a job. They talk to the British dons, the French dons, whatever dons. So it goes hand in hand. And to be honest, on a football pitch, I need my players to be main characters. Where I will always push back on lazy narratives. I'm not attacking you. Where has Aubameyang ever shown that there's a main character? I think I'm better than everyone. Because it might not have worked at clubs. There's a reason they love him at Barcelona. There's a reason they love him at Arsenal. There's a reason that even the fucking ex-Chelsea players like him. There's a reason they liked him at Marseille. Does he wind sporting directors up the wrong way and is a bit, I'm packing up my bags and going 1,000,000%? No man's without fault. But one thing I'm never going to have on this platform is I believe in getting onto people about what you should get onto them. False narratives, we're not signing up for that. One day, Aubameyang, I beg you just tell these people. Because when you lot fight, I'll leave you lot with this. Villarreal semi-finals, 2 weeks in that build-up. And to be fair, a man's mum is sick. Let's leave it at that. So yeah, about Arteta, I like the fact that we're hungrier than ever. I always just happen to be reading this, people. I just happen to be reading this year. And it's food for thought. No Arsenal team has successfully defended a top-flight title since the Gunners won 3 leagues in a row, ending in 1935. Not even Wenger's double-winning or invincible teams backed up their historic achievement with an immediate title win the following year. So as a club, we now need to enter unprecedented territory. Because this is what I mean when I say I love our achievements last season, but in a positive way. You man ain't achieved something I ain't seen. First, you've made history. First team to win it in the Emirates era. All you lot going down in history. But I've seen my team win a league title. I ain't seen us retain it. I've seen us get to a Champions League final, a European final. I ain't seen us have anything close to success there. Let's go and move towards that. And as a club, way before Arteta and these players, and even before Wenger, there has to be something, because I have always had that feeling that we build and build. I don't necessarily think it right now, but we build and build and build towards success. We get success. And for one reason or another, we don't follow through, or we don't build a lasting kind of thing, in which I think we're set up to do that, if I'm honest with you. That's not me saying we're going to bully up and win the Premier every year. Who wouldn't want that for whatever club? But you get the point, people. Arteta often turns to creating history as a huge motivation for his team, and there'll be no doubt he'll push the back-to-back narratives to his squad over the next thing. We're going to kind of cut out the tosh people. You look at our play stats. We're fourth for shots in the Premier League with 553. Goals from open play, we were fourth with 40. Big chance created from open play, we were sixth. So naturally, you want to get towards being either second or third. Chances created in open play, we're fifth. So clearly, we can go up. Open play expected goals, we're fifth. I don't really care about expected goals. Obviously, these things can be screwed. We never had certain players, form, injuries. People don't open up and play low blocks against us. You know, the fact that people know about the way we've been kicking ball for a minute. But this is what I'm saying, people. You lot that understand football know where I'm going. You lot that do the tribal bullshit. Bob's fucking uncle, mate. So yeah, you look at Odegaard stats. He's first for everything in it. Passing, accuracy, touches in the Community Shield. This is dribbling. That's the blueprint. We need you, Odegaard. And if Odegaard ain't there because our man's human, we need others. Most passes that break opposition back line. We don't have a player there, do we? Oh well, Bruno G now with 244. So that can help us, which is why he probably was brought in. Again, we don't need any of this to know your best players available. You're going to win more games. This is why I don't mind the Konsa signing. Without Saliba, our win ratio since August 2022 drops to 50%. With him, 68. Now, obviously, we've had him available more than he's not been available. We're obviously going to be better. What team isn't going to be better without their best players? But it does give food for thought, people. And then I was also just browsing through this article as well, people. Pardon me, Arteta is currently the longest serving manager. I'm here for that. Our age profile might tweak and change. We're obviously with Konsa signing, but at this moment in time, the average squad age is 26 years and 82 days. So that just tells me we're here for right now, innit? Like, we're here for right now. There will be a conversation in years to come about getting a bit more youth and things, and there'll probably be a natural phasing of certain players. I think our oldest player is Kepa. Our oldest outfield player is Marino. You know, you got a couple, like our midfield's prime ages, a couple young G's as well. To be honest, I think we've got players that kind of are past it naturally. Reece Nelson, Jesus, not necessarily age, but they need to be moved on. Players for tomorrow / the present, Lewis Skelly on paper, Wanyeri, Dowman, Marley Salmon, couple of other players, and players that are here for right now, like Zubi Rice. It's a right now thing, you know, if that makes sense. Magalhaes, that probably falls into you. You get where I'm going, people. So yeah, and we know how difficult it is to win back. It's difficult to win a Premier League full stop, let alone back to back. That's what I want us to join us to. I'm not saying that, well, Arteta, you're not better than Jose, Ferguson, or Pep Guardiola, but I want to see you. You're already in those conversations. Well, you're already in the same conversation as them in the sense that you've won the Premier League. In terms of back-to-back silverware, I want your name etched there. I want to see that. Arsenal do back-to-back and win the Champions League. I'm 31, but I can die a happy man. By God's grace, I live a long time, innit? And you don't know me. Champions League, I ain't finna try and breathe. But naturally, there's going to be, concerns without key players. 26 shots conceded, 26 goals conceded, XG conceded 28.3, whatever the hell that is. 310 shots conceded, 0.09 XG conceded per shot over a 38-game calendar. Arsenal's corner locations, we took 216 corners, 94 shots and 19 goals. Rice took 95, Saka took 65, Madueke took 38 of those. What team makes the most of set pieces? Naturally, Arsenal, but then they don't tell you the narratives, because I'm sure Spurs, for example, are not that far from us. Chelsea are not, and Chelsea have actually got a new set piece coach, and I don't blame them. The ball is in play less. We live in systemic football where it's mid, deep, and low blocks. Where teams have to find advantages. That's why Brentford got the long throw. That's where we've got this set piece. And if we can do you up from open play, if we can do you up from set pieces, if there's games we can create and score 1 million goals, or there's opportunity, there's games where we've only had 2 chances, one of them gone in. You need to be able to win in different conditions. It's a 38-game calendar. 9 times out of 10, you get what you deserve, but we all know you're going to win games when you deserve to. Sometimes you're going to lose when you don't deserve to lose. Sometimes you're going to draw when you deserve more or less from games. Those things are going to happen. 38 games, you're not going to be amazing. There's going to be games we get out of jail we're winning 1-0, everything's gone wrong, there's backs against the wall, we're out of jail. There's going to be times we win games, and actually we're sitting there going, fucking hell, we got lucky. Wolves at home comes to mind. And then you see those lessons bite you on the arse when you're bottling 2-goal leads. This is football. So yeah, there's obviously that. Have Arsenal done enough to strengthen their attack? No. I don't really feel much better on the left-hand side beyond Zolis. But yeah, I mean, our attacking thirds, 42.5%. We're strong on the right. 32.6% central areas. And that's where I'm looking at, if I'm honest, because I do think that's, whether it's midfield runners, people staying fit. I just think with players that play centrally, the Odegaards, the Ezes, the Miles Lewis-Skellys, the Brunos, the Zubis, the Rices, everyone's got different strengths. Some man are on running on in behind. Some man can break lines in midfield on a consistent basis. Like some people, you know, are the pass before the pass, like an Odegaard or whatever I'm saying. I think that's where I want to, as much as I focus on that left-hand side of this pitch, central regions, man, because we need to, it's easier said than done. But we've been talking about low, deep, and mid blocks for years. I don't know. It's above my pay grade. I don't know if you need to get more width in the pitch, have more runners, you know, get more creative players. Like there might even be games teams are playing mid and low blocks, not even trying to come and attack us. Lewis Skelly, for example, could have started in midfield. Arteta might go, you know what? Hincapie, Calafiori, one of you lot come off. Lewis Skelly go left back. I'm getting another midfielder in. Lewis Skelly invert. These are the kind of things. So I'm intrigued. Right-hand side, we're always going to have a bias there in it, especially if everyone's fit. Centrally, I think that could go up a bit. And you know what? Fair play. The left-hand side, it's more you want to see relationships built. Like the quicker we can get another one, we got two wingers and Zolis, Calafiori and Hincapie. Whoever's going to play that left eight, that relationship can see some level of stability, if I'm brutally honest with you. So yeah, man, I don't need stats to tell me how vital Odegaard and Saka are. So you've obviously got that, people. Big up hand of Arsenal. Because he has said Ezri Konsa will formalise his move to the English champions today. Media and medical, so the pictures, the interviews, all these kind of things. 2 bits of unconfirmed info. I was told he will take the 15 and could be presented pre-game tomorrow. Arsenal are still active in the market for the right player. So yeah, I think we're done in terms of incomings, but I'd love to be proven wrong. Don't mind who starts in midfield as long as MLS starts. 100 million for Silvinho, brother. They're going to get sanked, bro. Because I know Marmoush and my man are not going to bang like that. Chelsea are experts in money laundering. I can't lie, man. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I know it's unethical, but there's certain maneuverings I see by other rivals that might forget hands there, you know. I do like Mintai, to be fair. And he's a humble youth. Like, I see the Liverpool links. To be fair, when Arsenal, that game, that day, I can't remember the scoreline. We drew in it. Remember when Rice was given a red? I came out of the media end because I was in the media box that day. Mintai's come out and he's taking a million pictures. Like, honestly, with all the Brighton players, all the Brighton fans, all the Arsenal fans, people are asking him, are you even a footballer that plays for Brighton? He's taking pictures. Real humble guy, man. So go do your thing. I'm not sure on his potential and all that, but yeah, we need two attackers. Arsenal being slow or being sly. We just don't know what's going on. Man, them happy for a bench player. What do you mean? Arteta just likes parking the bus. To be fair, come and break our bus down. Like, I don't want us to stop being good at that. Come and break the bus down. Like, come and break the bus down. Of course, I want to see attacking football, quote unquote, but you get the point. I would much rather be in the title race with Chelsea than City. Remember how gassed they were when they beat us 1-1? It would mean more. I finally got my away Arsenal shirt. It's a good shirt to get in it. Yeah, I don't want Calafiori left wing. Obviously, if you roam there and go do your thing, then it is what it is. He didn't down tools. It's a fact he didn't down tools. It's easy to say that. How many times, like, man can say Salah down tools, those are down tools, Aubameyang down tools, all of these players down tools. It's jarring when a man signs a contract and they say that he didn't down tools. You had a bust up with the manager. Someone needed to go. Obviously, Arteta, it was vindicated. You need to get my man gone. But when Aubameyang tells you, look, you're not going to be like, oh, shit. Looking good for this year, DG Terry. I hope so, my friend, man. Shane, one love, my killie. The left is going to change this season. I feel it. It needs to, my boy. It needs to, man. It needs to. DG on Champions League fraud watch. What the hell does that mean? What the hell did I do? Arteta was asked how he deals with missing players for injury. He said he has built this squad to operate as a team. It's about the system. He wants the next player to step up and maintain the level. To be fair, every manager's got to do that. And it's not easy because, your better players are better players. But you could argue in this day and age where, let's have it right, it is less about the individuals now. Like, it's a shit example. They had good players and the individuals made it. But PSG had Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe. They didn't win the Champions League. They don't quite have... They've got stars, but you get where I'm going. There's a more team ethic. No one can chat to them now. You could argue Real Madrid need more of a team effort, not necessarily names. We live in systemic football. It's all plug in, plug out players. It's not really individuals will always make a game of football. There'll always be that, but it's less than that. So yeah, carrying on with the Konsa thing. We all know at this point we agreed a deal with Aston Villa. The fee's been agreed of 50 million plus add-ons. He's set to undergo his medical, and again, will be an intense 24 hours. There's only so much times they can mention Rashford, Leao, Grealish, all the kind of left field choices. They can't mention Morgan Rogers and Vinicius and Bacolo. Well, them two sagas are gone. Bacolo, it seems like radio silence. A man who was linked in the beginning of summer still seems to be here in that it seems this week is Kenan Yildiz week, if I'm honest. Arsenal are looking into whether a deal for Kenan Yildiz is possible in this window. One solution that has been potentially raised is Martinelli potentially going the other way to Juventus, but that would still require considerable negotiation, which is true. I wouldn't mind that at all. Miguel Delaney has also said on a player that we'd all have at the carpet, Arsenal would probably have moved for Ellie Junior Krupi, 20, had it not been for his injury, and that does represent an option for January. It's true, and people do move in January, but you just never know. The Standard Sport has said, Standard Sport understands that a medical for Habib Oyagan, again, forgive me, 20 has been scheduled by Arsenal for Thursday, with official announcement expected over the weekend. The player will join in a free transfer that includes a 40% sell-on clause, joining up with the club's under-21 squad. Our under-21 squad needs bolstering. Apparently, we're in talks for not just him, but another Man United lad. Food chain business. Do you see the difference? They take our scraps. Heaven's a key player for them. Man are in the 21s, innit? That's just to piss off the Peckham Reds. So yeah, deal's been agreed for Konsa people. Arsenal considering winter move for Bournemouth's Ellie Junior Krupi, according to the Independent people. He's been identified for a couple of weeks. As we know, he's got an injury. We're exploring the possibility of Kenan Yildiz. We failed to get Vinicius Junior. No one don't care about Julian Alvarez right now. Apparently, prizing the Turkish player away from, I'm just going to say Juventus, looks set to be difficult, as the Turin-based club's decision makers are reportedly demanding more than 70 million euros. What's 70 million euros? That's about 60 odd million quid, isn't it? I don't know if I quite believe that, but if that was for gospel, we ain't got to do no thinking. Go put the bread down quick and fast, bro. 70 million euros. What's that? 65 million pounds? Get that done, man. Before they even consider letting him go, as with Krupi, the possibility of mounting a bid during the future transfer window cannot be ruled out. You know what? Krupi stay over them sides for a year. Hot take. Striker next season. Next summer, I want a striker. I want a right back. Because you'd imagine Ben White, this is your final season. Although we said that going into this one. Arteta has long identified the left side attack as a priority position to upgrade. Vinicius Junior's decision to stay at Real Madrid caused Arsenal to reconsider the situation. Some thought has been given into waiting until either January or next summer when other deals could become a possibility. It's looking like that because there's not really value. Fabio Vieira deal to Hamburg is still on. That is music to my ears, I'll tell you that much. Gyökeres is very excited, apparently, about the possibility to play for Barcelona and has offered himself to the club several times. He's not a priority currently to the Spanish side. They're also being linked with Gabriel Jesus. Now, links and actual truth, I don't know, because they're linked with Alvarez. Hella players up. Luis Suarez is being linked with them, the sporting lad. There's a French striker being linked to a striker playing in France. Bit of creative journalism. So yeah, people. James Scallon, that's the other guy that's said to be coming to our 21s. What's this about Yildiz again? Well, we've gone over that. Would you not swap Martinelli? But then again, I can't lie. If they're saying 60 million euros, yeah, you might as well just buy him. Because if you offer Martinelli, because I think he'll do well in Italy, how much are they going to want as well as Martinelli? Like, for argument's sake, if they say they want 100 million and we both agree that we'll probably rate Martinelli, as in the two parties, of 40 million, and they want a deal that makes 100, all right, cool. If it's 100 million, Martinelli knocks off 40, we give you 60, just keep it moving. I don't buy into it, if I'm honest. I hope it happens naturally. I don't think Juventus want to depart with him. To be fair, Aston Villa and Newcastle didn't want to depart with their players. There'd been many a player that's left Arsenal that we didn't necessarily want gone. Good players aren't necessarily available. You don't know until you ask. Nonetheless, Romano has said Arsenal are looking at wingers. They're trying to see if there's an option on the market. So there are conversations ongoing. It's not an easy market for wingers, not just for Arsenal, but they're exploring. So I expect them to add something in that position. So that means Ranieri def has to go on loan. Martinelli probably has to leave because, again, injuries can change things. But at the start of the season, when everyone's fit, there's a lot of men that are not going to, quote-unquote, make the match day squad. Apologies, people. I think that was just from my own reading. What the hell is this? The Sun? What's this? Yeah, so yeah, we've gone over the croupy stuff. I wouldn't be against it. We're facing a fight to try pull off a late and audacious swoop for Kylian Yildiz, people. He's contracted until 2030. I don't think anyone believes the Osimhen rumours in it, people. But yeah, apparently Arsenal were told the 21-year-old was not for sale at any price earlier in this summer and moved on to other targets. But now Arteta and Co returning to their favoured target after a fruitless summer when it comes to elite left wingers. So yeah. And yeah, we're getting other players. Christian Romero said Julian Alvarez will stay. Apparently, Osimhen is open to moving to Arsenal. I mean, naturally, Tosin is the Aston Villa replacement for Konsa. I feel sorry for Villa because you lot got more. You lot are in the Champions League now. You've been ransacked, and I always maybe it's because I'm an Arsenal fan and we're good defensively. But Konsa's gone, Luka Dean's gone, Telemans has gone, Emi Martinez could still go. It's like the heartbeat of the team's cut, but I ain't got no love for no one. But when it was the Emirates era and we saw Bearman cut, I don't give a monkeys. Rio backs us for the league. Stop reading us, man. Stop reading us. Our first 5 games: Coventry at home, Aston Villa away, Chelsea at home, Sunderland away, Brighton away. Coventry win, W, 3 points against Coventry, 3 points against Villa, 3 points against Chelsea, draw against Sunderland, draw against Brighton. Now, you ask me tomorrow, I'll probably change my mind, but that would be my hot take. Timber is expected to return in September. I definitely hope so. Gabriel Jesus is currently not open to joining Napoli, with the player taking his time to decide his future. As an Arsenal fan, you don't want to hear that. From his point of view, I get it. Take as much, like when I remove the fact that I think you can move on and spots in the squad open up and resources, I understand it, bro, because you're at an important time in your career. Do you run down your deal? He might be deluded and think, right, you know what, I can still contribute to Arsenal, and it's a long season, there's injuries and all of those things. As a young man, obviously with him maturing, it's not that he don't want to play. He's probably more receptive and whatnot to his role in the squad. He might want to run down this deal for a year to get the money and the loyalty bonus. And also, you're more attractive to other clubs. You could argue, and obviously if you leave, you go play first team football. You could argue Arsenal need to move on from Gabriel Jesus more than he needs to move on. You got a sweet gig, bearing in mind what he's got 2 youths as well in London. I'm sure they're in school. People forget these footballers are human, and I know we're not privy and we're not exposed to these things. And it's not even just with Gabriel Jesus. A lot of people forget how much off the field factors into making moves, whether that's signing for a new club or going elsewhere. And obviously, he's got a wife and kids, and also with stuff like that. And that's where I think if you are Arsenal, if you are Chelsea, obviously Man United are good in that as well. But the London clubs, there's a big attraction to want to sign for a London club, maybe even Brighton and Bournemouth, because you're not that far. You know, the best hustlers used to be Bolton. Bolton used to gas JJ Okocha and this one and that one. Yeah, man, we're 2 minutes away from Old Trafford. There with this and that. The minute you sign, hey, football's a dirty game, man. We got the best manager in the league. I like that mindset. To be fair, who would I say second best? Well, you know what? You know me. I like to think my level of thinking with football is more like the Spanish. If we forget the clubs and all of that, I'd say Arteta first. I actually rate Xabi Alonso as a gaffer. But then I have to, there's serious guys in this league, man, that have earned their chops, man. What Areola did at Bournemouth, I have to rate it. Who else is there? What Glasner's been doing. I don't know how it works for Nottingham Forest and Liverpool respectively, but I have to respect his thing. De Zerbi's obviously earned the name for himself. I'll be keen to see what Spurs are on, you know, because all them agendas are you have to do this, you spent money and this and that way. Because he's got to deliver on his promise now, man. London is a gift and a curse. Most of these guys don't want to downgrade club and city to live in. 265k a week. Yeah, but it only looks mad. You got to remember, he signed that deal 3-4 years ago. It only looks mad because of the dynamics we find ourselves in at this moment in time, man. Smash the likes. Let's get DD to 100. Els, appreciate you, man. You lot in the chat, man. Come on, be nice, bro. I promise you we're not getting you this. You know what I say? The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Like, the only time I'm really thinking about getting these players is when we're talking about what they could be and we're just having conversations with us. Until I see medicals and fees agreed and people holding shirts. And I've checked out a bit, really, truly, if I'm honest. So, yeah, I hope to be wrong. How is Bruno injured already? Forgive me, but who credible is saying this stuff, man? No one ain't. Who is saying these things? Did you sure it isn't Konsa? But it's hating for free. The fluid of football we played in the Charity Shield should be the benchmark for the rest of the season. It's true, but bro, teams are not gonna be like that. Teams are not gonna set up like that against us. But we have to find a way. It's above my pay grade, but we have to find a way. And don't call them fake Brazilians. Come on, man. Emre is the second best manager in the league. Yeah, I have to rate Emre's thing. He won the Europa League. I think, respectfully to Aston Villa, he's good at them kind of clubs where it's not expected that they win the Europa League or challenge for the Champions League or win the Champions League or whatnot. If you get into those scenarios in latter stages of tournaments, it's good. Didn't bang at Arsenal. I don't think he was to be blamed. I think he failed us in the Premier League. We failed him in the Europa League. His record in the Europa League is faultless. Where's the one black mark at our football club, if I'm honest? But yeah, Emery deserves his credit, and I'm happy that should Arsenal have given up? Should Arsenal have kept Emery for longer? Well, there'll always be new agendas and recycled news, yeah, but there's a lot of, I don't know how to explain it, but there's a lot of fucking talking points that I'm happy I put to bed, man. Bruno has some niggle and will be doubtful tomorrow. We left it too late for an elite attacker. It's very unlikely they would sell now with the season about to start. I could see us going for a younger player. I'm not necessarily against that. DG, why can't we do what Man United doing with Belieber and Paul with Mintai? Sign them even with injury. This is for us and Kroopy. I can't lie. I would sign Kroopy even with his injury personally. Kroopy is wanted by a lot of folks. He's big money. He is. Emre could never... Huh? I'm not sure on the rest of that. I would personally come to England from America, pack Jesus up and take him to the airport. He needs to move on, man, because for me, above everything is sad, man. Like, Jesus, you started off this project. You've got a Premier League title. Life is a bit romantic in a way that your Arsenal career started against Crystal Palace. You can make a case that it ended. It's also romantic for a variety of reasons. Eze going back to Crystal Palace. Them lot down the road saying, fuck off back to Woolwich. We lifted it at Crystal Palace. We had a 22-year drought. Somebody mentioned Kroopy. Kroopy, number 22 for Bournemouth, forgive me if I'm wrong, played a part in that. Gyökeres scored 14 league goals, wearing the number 14. Helped deliver us our 14th trophy. And there's many of those other things, man. Like, football can be quite romantic. I do think from footballing point of view, Saka's gone from being a boy at this club to a man. The trajectory of Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Magalhaes in particular, under Mikel Arteta, from their first inceptions with Arteta and them early days to now, there's a lot to consider. Odegaard is well, really, and there's so much. Again, I hope you lot checked out the video I brought out at 9:30, people, because I did 9:30 in the morning today, UK time, because I did. We spoke about these things. We do tactics and young players and talk about conventional news and think about football at a deeper level. We're diverse here, people. You lot are the most diverse. I don't like family. I don't like the term subscriber in it here. So I appreciate you. And everyone who's hit the like button, subscribed and done all that stuff. Elite wingers with serious numbers to the guy we're trying to get rid of. Football's in the gutter. It is, bro. We spoke about this yesterday. You look at right wing, up front and left. And just in general, attackers, whether it's the caliber of attackers, the premiums that attackers are going for, not necessarily worth the money and all of this kind of crap. It's a mad game. But I'm going to ask you again, like striker, right wing, left wing. If you look at the three individual markets, I think left wing's the deadest. Honest to God, I think it's the deadest. I think we've all been, for the last couple of years, we've all been through the striker thing. Chelsea, Liam Delap, we bought Gyökeres and got Kai Havertz up there. United with Sesko. All of these, respectfully to them, we all know the striker market is meaty. Right wing, I think it's meaty, but still, Bournemouth went and got Ryan. Saka's one of the best in the world. Elise over there is one of the best in the world. Miles one of the best of those in the world. Okay, Osman Dembele plays up front now, but he slapped right wing. He's there. You could put Rafinha there. So I think that market's a bit better than the striker market at this moment in time. I don't quite subscribe to this, but when we're talking about Julian Alvarez, rightly so, a lot of you lot say, oh, but look at his numbers last season. Now, I'm sure there's mitigating circumstances, and I do think when you're at Atletico Madrid, there's a level of attacking, like your attacking wings are going to get clipped to a degree. I know Atletico Madrid are not quite the defensive side they used to be, but the same. But then you look at the left-hand side, it's dead, bro. Because I wanted Morgan Rogers. But I know in my heart of hearts, I was on, and I said it, I'm on signing him and then working that shit out later because I don't believe you would be the long-term left winger. I think your future's inside, if that makes sense. The same with the Juventus lad, man, his name, Yildiz. The same with him. I believe the same thing with him. Anthony Gordon's at Barcelona, a player we wanted. Now, from a him point of view, you've done well from Everton to Barcelona. That's meaty. Nico Williams, Rafa Leao, Marcus Rashford. The left wing market shit, bro. Like it's mad dead to the point where a part of me wishes Wanyeri and Dalman were right-footed. But yeah, man, I feel like I said, I think that's the deadest of the three, innit? I know some people want a striker. I do too, yeah. But I thought it was beyond Zolis. My thoughts, my personal 2 pence is it's essential to get a left winger this season. I don't mind parking off the striker for a year or two, purely because You could even do a Liverpool thing where Firmino obviously scored goals and done other stuff, but he wasn't clinical. You had a monster in Salah, you had a monster in Mane. Now, if we can get Saka back up to his best, and at this moment in time, I don't think Martinelli's got it in his locker, but Zolis, if you can get something decent, I'm not asking you to be the white Mane. If you could, that'd be great. But if you could do 50% of what Mane did and Saka's at his best, and then you've got all the other goals from set pieces, maybe midfielders chipping in, and Firmino got a decent amount, like you get it. We could kind of maybe live that way, really. Like, if you were to ask me, cold blank period, you can have the striker of your dreams or the left winger of your dreams for this summer, but you can't have both. I'm going to lean towards the left. So, yeah. Quintero brothers, well, we love it, innit? We love it. Do you think Gyökeres is going to be that sell? Nah, I think it's Martinelli, man. I don't think it makes sense to sell Gyökeres. I think what people need to do at our club is remove their own personal opinions. Do not get it twisted. I can understand the pros and cons around Kai Havertz, around Gyökeres, around Marino, potentially around Odegaard, around Noni Madueke and Martinelli. Notice the theme in the players' names I've said, innit? But I think you need to keep them for a year. Say it with me. Baleba. All right, we got there in the end. You lot be nice in the chat, man. I would sign Krupi with an ACL. Now, I'm not going to. I ain't signing players with an ACL still. Now, I'm not. If you got an injury, where granted, I don't know off the top of my head what the hell Krupi had, but you're going to have to sit down for a minute, but you can be back. I'm on that. Rodrigo, I'm not. Bro, it's an ACL, bro. There's too much weekly. Again, none of this is my piece. If we signed on a shameless thing, if we signed Rodrigo injured, I'd be gassed about it and be like, oh, yeah. When he's fit, it's going to be lit, but it don't make sense. You're going to have to give Real Madrid, assuming the man even wants to leave Real Madrid, let alone pack up and move to another country where you're injured. And to a degree, that is going to affect how you integrate into the team. Of course, Arsenal welcome you with open arms, but that's very different to actively taking part in training sessions, traveling up and down with the players and whatnot. If I'm Rodrigo, truthfully, I'm not going to do that. And I don't know. And there might be you could argue it'd be the best time to sign him because he might be available at a discount. But yeah, I don't think it makes sense, bro. Like the wages he's gonna get, the signing on fee, the transfer fee, and you don't know what he got. Listen, we want everyone to be healthy in this life, innit? And I hope you and your loved ones are. But we don't know how he's gonna react to that ACL. And when it's not the same, but again, it's like Saliba. When you have a long-term injury, the rehab is everything. You're going to have setbacks. Even some players that have been back ahead of schedule already in the Arsenal team, they've had setbacks. Kai had a setback. Saka had a setback, etc. Magalhaes had a setback, etc., etc. So, yeah, man, that's my 2 pence, innit? It has to be Jesus. But I've never, I think Jesus is gone. But I think it's Martinelli, honest to God, bro. And life is weird in that Martinelli could leave and Jesus might still be. Like, Martinelli could cut. And Reece Nelson is still here. Life is mad like that. Like, it's absolutely mad. Let's get Krupi and let Eze do left wing with Zolis, and we'll see how the market for left wing in January or next summer. I mean, I was saying this in the build up to this, innit? But like, you have to fix left wing, innit? Like, for me, the next Kvaratskhelia, the next whatever, like 12 months from now, whatever's the guy that everyone's saying sign, that needs to be us now. Like, that needs to be us now. It has to be. January at the earliest, I agree. If I was a betting man, probably not going to do nothing in January, probably in the summer. We've shown even when there's absolute reasons to do. There's 2 times I knew Arsenal don't really care about doing business in January. The year we beat Real Madrid in the Champions League, and there's definitely another one. I don't want to remind you, we've come a long way. I'm sure the year we got slapped against Spurs away and Newcastle away, I'm sure Spurs signed 1-2 players in January and we didn't. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. I'm starting to think Bukola hijack could be on the cards. I'll believe it when I see it, man. We should have got Mika Götze. Now he's gone to PSG for 40 mil. Now they're trying to sell Bukola for 150. I'd sell Nelly, Vieira, Nelson, Kepa. DG still feel we're letting Paul do the heavy lifting with Bukola and we swoop in. It's dragging on for so long. I mean, Liverpool could be putting the finishing touches for all I know. Or it could be what you're saying. With just being an armchair expert like you lot, when you leave the door open, it could happen. And to be fair, if you're PSG, if Bukola wants Liverpool, fair enough. But if you're PSG, if he's not going to be here, you don't care. You would love to, not that PSG care about peace, but you would love 2 British clubs fighting. It's driving up prices. No man said Nelson is retiring at Arsenal, guys. Let it be. And Mbaye is the next carrot level in him, to be honest. But his agent and parents are bare meaty, ruining the kid's life. Damn. We can't keep going year after year having forced loans just for these guys not to be in the team. Brother, broski, I'm with you. We need to draw a line, man. Like, start that bomb squad stuff. And I don't want to be that guy because you lot were telling me the bomb squad thing is not on. I'm sure Chelsea have told Liam Delap this one, that one. You man are training away from the squad. Maybe we need to start doing that because these men are not moving, innit? And I know it's horrible to say, but it's the harsh reality, innit? But with that being said, though, man, we've been here for 1 hour and 10 minutes. Appreciate you lot as I always do. Tomorrow, 6 p.m., we're beginning our watch. No, 7 p.m. I'm lying to you lot because it's 8 p.m. kickoff. So we've got watch-alongs. Check out the rest of the content. Most importantly, you lot stay safe, stay blessed. And hopefully we see our players scoring bangers like this, man.
Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
Still on the floor.